Great Fratelli song there. Chelsea Daggers from the album Costello Music, released in 2006. Now, we're talking about Upminster on Your Essex, and my next guest is Diego Pagliuso, the director of Finta Futsal, based in Upminster. They coach kids from 4 to 14 of all abilities in football, I think, and we're going to find out more. Hi, Diego.
Hi, Lucy. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you. Now, did I pronounce your surname properly?
Pagliuso. Yeah, it was fine.
Pagliuso.
Right.
Oh, thank you very much. Good. First of all, tell me, what sets futsal apart from all the other football courses for children?
Yeah, futsal is a five-a-side indoor football. It's normally played in a hard surface with a smaller, low bounce ball. So the ball stays on the ground most of the time. It's very good for quick thinking and technique.
Right. And so, what are the rules in futsal then? Just go over those for me again.
It's very similar to football, but it's played in a smaller court indoors, similar size to a handball. There's no height restrictions, so it's normal. Only a few differences: the goalkeeper cannot receive the ball twice. That's to avoid people wasting time with the ball. But apart from that, it's very, very similar to football. A very tactical game as well.
Where does it come from, futsal?
There is a debate that it started in Uruguay, but most Brazilians like me, we say it started in Brazil because that's where futsal got really big.
So you and the Uruguayans have had a disagreement about futsal and where you're claiming it, right? You're claiming it. Good.
We're always claiming it.
Yeah, good for you. So I've got a 4-year-old son. He does football on a Saturday, and he's done it since he was about 2, really, mainly just because he's got a lot of energy and it's good to get him running around, not because we think he's going to be the world's best footballer or anything like that. And he sort of enjoys it. But what we've noticed as he's got older is that we've kind of moved into the realms of competitive parents now. That's what I'm seeing. So I go and watch him run up and down like a headless chicken. You know, he very rarely kicks the ball, sort of just does his own thing, really, because he is only 4. And you've got a lot of competitive parents really pushing their kids really hard. And these little boys, they're only 4, and it kind of upsets me, actually, I have to be honest. How do you deal with competitive parents, and what do you think about people kind of pushing their kids in this way?
Well, I think parents need to understand that it's a long, long way to go. We cannot predict a 4-year-old or 5-year-old to be the next Messi. It's impossible to know. And we cannot take the enjoyment out of the kids. Our club, we only start competitive games from 9s onwards. We have occasional games for under 8s and so on. Before that, they only do training. We try and make the session as fun as possible. When parents do come to me to talk about expectations in the age group, my expectations is participation, enjoyment, and learning, because that's what it is. You cannot predict a 4-year-old to be a professional football player. It's just impossible. There's so many variables along their lives that everything could change. You can see some differences in talent, that you got players at 4 or 5 who have a natural ability to play, but that could all change. Other players could catch up when they'll be older. So it's really important to be on the parent side and always work together, not against, trying to develop the kids the more we can.
Is it hard though when you see a child that you think, cool, he's gifted, you know, he's got a good right foot or whatever, and is it hard not to sort of pay that child kind of more attention and go, oh, you know, I can see this kid going far, you know, and is that something that happens? I don't know. I'm just asking really because it must be difficult. I don't know. I used to sort of teach drama at one point, and if there was a kid that showed real ability, sometimes it's hard to think, look, stop always going to that kid who's the good one. You got your other ones here that you've got to pay as much attention to and bring up as well. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, look, the FA has been really good with the recent courses on football, especially on dealing with children and managing differences. So there is a way to challenge kids in different ways within the same session. I do think that when the abilities are too much of a difference, then it's hard for the coach. So what we do is we normally have 2 sides of a session. So if a kid is doing a bit better, he will normally go to one of the sides and play with other kids who are in a similar level of understanding. I think everyone benefits from that. That kid who is a bit more advanced benefits. And a kid who is just for the first time is a bit insecure also benefits from having players around him who are similar level of understanding. But even though we split, there is still differences within those groups as well. So challenging the kids in different ways, so giving them So if a kid can do lots of touches of the ball in the same session that another one that can't, I'm not going to ask them to do the same thing. So I might challenge the kid who's got a bit more ability to do a new technique, a new skill, and give something more basic to the one that's starting. It's hard work, but it can be achieved. As long as you take the pressure out of it, it can be achieved.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense, Diego, because as I say, we trot up every Saturday to watch our little boy, and I just love watching him take part. I just love seeing him run and get his energy out and smile, and if he kicks the ball, it really doesn't bother me. I couldn't care less whether he kicks it one way or another. I'm just not a competitive parent. And so, but I do I appreciate it must be quite hard for a coach who's got, I think there's about 20, 30 kids in, well, perhaps not that many, but there's quite a lot. And they are, as 4-year-olds, they're such little ones. But so you go up to 14. So you say you start sort of really doing competitive games, perhaps more at 8, something like that. Is that you were saying?
Yeah, from under 9s. That's the FA recommendation as well. That's when academies start signing players and so on. So from under 9 onwards, we start having games and competing in tournaments. We just came back from Spain yesterday, where we played under 9s, under 11s and 12s, and under 14s against the Spanish teams. From those age groups, we are a little bit more competitive. Then we have a lot of kids throughout the academy, but then we normally, for these tours, we select the ones that are a bit more advanced for the tours. There are tours we do internationally where we bring everyone is invited, but there are others that we select players to compete. So it gets a bit more competitive then.
Yeah, I can see how that would be. It's how do the people in Upminster? How has it gone down in Upminster? Have you got a waiting list? Have you got lots and lots of people involved already?
Yeah, in Upminster we have about 200 and few kids. We have centres running from Wednesday to Saturdays, 3 hours of a day during the week, and on the weekend we have 5-hour sessions.
Wow.
No, 5 sessions, sorry. Yeah, and we've got
that's a lot.
A few sessions. It is, yeah.
And you've got, that's a lot of kids. Isn't that like all of the kids in Upminster? You're taking them where they're obviously, the other football coaches must be sat there going, twiddling their thumbs. Everyone's at futsal.
No, we do futsal. We don't compete with football. So all our kids, they play football somewhere. Most of them plays for the local grassroots clubs, and a few of them plays for football academies as well. And they do futsal to get some extra training and something else different to football.
Oh, I see.
We don't compete with football. We actually want to help them.
So you work together. You work in partnership, basically.
We work together, yeah, basically. Yeah. So we have some sessions. For example, we have 6 or 7 kids coming from the same football club. The coach brings them to get the benefits of coaching.
Right. So just go through, because obviously my football knowledge is limited. I'm going to be quite honest here, Diego. It's limited, and so just go over exactly how different this is to football for me, just so it's clear in my mind.
Well, we start with the size. So futsal is a 5v5 game. Goalkeeper and 4 outfield players. It's played indoors. It's played in a hard surface pitch, similar to gym holes in schools. The goal is smaller, the size of a handball goal, and it's played with a futsal ball, which is different to a football. It doesn't bounce as much, and it's a bit smaller. Some say it's a bit heavier, but actually it's not heavier, it just feels heavier. The rules, there's no head height restrictions, so it's normal. If the ball goes up for a side kick, it's taken with the feet instead of the hands. If the ball goes for a goal kick, the goalkeeper releases with his hands rather than his foot. Apart from that and there's 4-second rule. If the ball stops, if it goes for a free kick or side kick, corner, you have 4 seconds to restart the game, so it keeps dynamic. In a professional game, it's 2 halves of 20 minutes played, and every time the ball goes off, the clock stops, so there's no time wasting. You actually play 40 minutes of futsal, which is really good, and that is it. That's the difference to football.
I've got it, Diego. It's gone in.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's me. I've had to, while you were talking, envisage a little, a court, if you like, indoors. And as you were talking, I've envisaged everyone by the sides and then doing what they're doing. So it's fine. I've got it. That's great. So if people want to get involved, what do they do?
Yeah, we have a website, which is www.fintafutsal.co.uk. There's a registration form there. You can send an email and then get in contact with us. We can explain a bit more the benefits if they need more help. and try and locate them to see if availability is on.
Oh, are you still there, Diego?
Yeah, yeah. Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can. We just lost you for a second there, but I think we got what we needed for that. We got your website, so that's good. Listen, Diego, thanks so much. Diego Pagliuso, the director at Finta Futsal, based in Upminster.
At 7 p.m, I turn the TV off